welcome back. We're at Gridlife RevUp, and let's just start off with some highlights. I got a fish!
The second fish I caught, dude. This, what a great day this is.
Let me see that bad, Larry. Hold that up.
Look at this little bluegill. Get the like bassing.
Oh, yeah.
Hold down. Okay, if you see that big, it's
Oh
huge.
my god, dude, it's huge! Holy cow!
Fish in though, guys.
Hell yeah. That's a nice little guy.
Yeah, I'll take it.
All right.
What a day.
What a day. Reel her in.
This one's a real big.
Holy cow.
This is the smallest fish caught in central Michigan, west side of the state on a Tuesday.
It's Saturday.
This is how drag
You're
race.
taken away from N54 records.
Yeah, this is how N54 records work. That's all I'm trying to explain. Guys, this,
I have the world record quarter mile on a Sunday
this
between
is my trophy
72.
catch here on Saturday.
Oh man.
Maybe I can put this on a
Little
hook and catch bigger fish with it. If I was on a boat, that's what I'd do.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I think the biggest fish in here is probably what, 7 inches?
I've seen James Houghton catch like a bass out here, so.
Whoa.
Astounded.
Yeah, that's. Well, how'd you figure?
I got
33, 166 in P3. Colton Krzyzewski. Nice job. Viper. 31, 613 in the 330 CI. What a wild build. Rolling burnout. Mike Pagano.
Yeah, buddy.
And out front in track mod in the 720S. Faster and faster every time we see him. A 30.934. Jason Canacri. Fastest time of the weekend. Fastest time of the week. Well driven.
Right to the front step.
You're not my boss.
We are ready for an advance call to grid.
Advance. Call to grid, please. Advance to grid.
Hey guys, we're back to the shop. Cars are still in sort of one piece, and we're going through the good, bad, and the ugly. So the good is we got second and fifth. Can't really complain about that, especially for a weekend that's kind of leading up to the big weekend, which is Gridlife Midwest. So starting out on this car, we got second, pretty sweet. Car kind of performed better than it's ever performed. We got a new personal best, a 131.6, which at Gingerman is pretty good, and I think we can break the 130 barrier on a good day with everything going well. So there's a lot left to be had here. But to go over what happened, essentially, first session we went out and we caught on fire. Come over here. We'll start with the bad, you know.
Actually, I'll go through the car.
You guys see the burn stuff? It was on fire in there. Some rubber got into and lit some foam on fire. That was not cool. So we're fixing that. And what happened was the E85 sensor wire got melted, so we had 0% ethanol, so the car went super lean, and I think we blew the head gasket like a very slight amount, but we kept running it, because that's what we do. We keep growing and we don't give up. So the car actually leaks a little bit on the head gasket a little bit when it's cold. When it's hot, it seems like everything's fine, I guess. You definitely smell coolant on startups though. So what we did is we took apart the head. Oh, let's get back to what happened actually. So we lit on fire, and then when we lit on fire, we didn't set a lap time. We were in Group A, and then for session 2, which was the fastest session of the weekend, where the McLaren got first place, we got put into like Group C or something because we didn't set a lap in the first session. Also, Dewey you were like facing the wrong way in turn 1 for half the session, so yellow flags for gays. Anyway, we went to the second session and we got back into Group A, kind of just flying through traffic, but obviously going through traffic isn't the best way to attack time, so we missed the kind of best track conditions of the weekend. But going forward the rest of the weekend, we actually P1 probably most of the sessions. I think honestly the car ran great. We were competitive with the guys who were up front, like the Vipers, the McLarens, the GT2RS. You'll see some onboard video from that. So all in all, the car's great. The handling, we're gonna make some changes. The car's hopping a lot in some of the fast corners and kind of understeering in some of the slow corners, and we're gonna make some changes. I think there's a lot left on the table with it there. Yeah, so we took the engine apart when we got back here and we retorqued the head and gave it some old K-seal because that's how we're gonna fix this long-term solution. Just kidding. We're building our motor just so we have, I figure if we have a spare on the stand, the one in the car will be fine. That's how it works. So, I mean, all in all, great weekend. Had fun. And now we're just even more psyched for Gridlife Midwest. Yeah, so things we're gonna do for the Midwest are probably adjust the alignment a little bit, adjust the sway bar a little bit, some fresh tires, make sure we have fresh brake fluid, maybe some fresh pads depending on what's left on this car, and then send it. So
Just like that, basically as easy as can be, right?
And Chris's car was not much less dramatic, so I'll take the camera and you can show you what happened here.
Yeah, I guess. What a scene.
Where do you start?
Well, I don't even remember what really happened.
Well, first of all, you caught on fire too. So
okay,
a little mini fire. It was a little baby fire.
It wasn't. Well, I guess there was a flame.
There was a flame.
Yeah, one of the silicone hoses.
Hold on, look it down here. All right, here.
Jesus! One of these silicone hoses we just installed on this side of the charge pipe, and it touched the manifold. So one of these silicone hoses melted.
Not that bad.
Not that bad. Yeah,
No.
and like David was like full OnlyFans model.
He was blowing hard.
Yeah, and I just was like, David, please stop, and I just grabbed it and threw it, and then it was all over. So that was like not very exciting. The exciting part was out back. Yeah, so obviously we did the battery tray, and that we thought was going to be super sweet, and it was until
It wasn't?
until the rivets pulled out. Basically, I was just driving around, and when I think I was braking into turn 1, and I like felt a ka-thunk, and I was like, well, that's really weird, and because you shouldn't really feel anything on your body in the race car. And yeah, then I looked down and the battery was like in the center, on top of the center console basically, like on the GCU. Basically the battery had ripped the 2 rivets out of the mount, rolled all the way forward, ripped the negative, ripped the positive.
Terrifying.
And yeah, it flew up and basically hung out with me. And then I just remember like the car was obviously dead at this point, so I was just rolling. The trans was flipping out because it didn't have power, so the torque converter was just like doing things as I coasted to a stop. So I kind of just like pushed the battery back and then went into the grass, and I was like, well, that's kind of bad because you don't want to short the battery out like on the whole chassis because that's basically how things explode.
Yeah.
So I like remember being in the grass, like rolling and like turning around, like I undid the belts as fast as I could. I turned around and I kind of like grabbed the battery and like just moved it, and then yeah, it was fine. The tow truck guy was not happy with me, but they never are. We did a park delete on this after.
Yeah, so we now have a park delete for the BMW 8HPs because it is just a pain in the butt. Unfortunately, we haven't figured out a system that's possible for the normal person yet for like the Dodge park delete or like the DCT park delete, but now we have like a permanent park delete.
Yeah, and they make those for the DCT, but the handle is so much better. But the problem with this is instead of pulling up to get into neutral, it's a push down to get into neutral.
Yeah.
And the lever doesn't like have anything on it. It's literally just like a weird lever on the side.
Yeah.
And it's like really hard to force down. We thought about like making a long T handle that you could push down, but it's like up under the dash, and so nothing really worked well. So I basically just made a perma delete.
Yeah. I mean, how was the car handling stuff? Everything seemed pretty good otherwise, though. I mean, they got the new boost controls working sweet. So the boost controls now through the ECU.
So yeah, I think the first session was rough. Well, the first 2 sessions were rough. The first session, no boost, and I was just an idiot and assumed that the ECU...
No boost for Chris is like 16 pounds.
It was 13. The car still was fine, right? I ran around and did like a 139 or something stupid. But for some reason, I thought the ECU sent the trigger to the Mac on the positive. like sent power, but it doesn't. It sends a ground signal. So I basically had both sides of the Mac grounded, which
Yeah.
obviously doesn't do anything. So then once we powered to the Mac, it was fine. And then went out again, but then the EKP, I had set up for pedal position. Like after 25 PSI, it would turn on the second fuel pump, and like the pressures weren't looking great. So I basically just sent both both pumps to just be on all the time. So it was just like a get by. I will go do some tuning now and actually figure out the best settings
just data
for it.
log
But it
and
was
see
kind of
what-
like at the track, I was like, I don't care. We're just
Not
gonna
worth
run
it.
all of the pumps 100%. I have a return with a regulator, so it's like not gonna over pressurize or do anything stupid. So
Yeah.
that was that, and then
And the bumper flew off because it was going too fast.
yeah, then,
Yeah, Chris-
then so the one session I was at the first in Group B, which I was like, okay, fine, I can finally go out and just do a lap. It'll be sweet. And the bumper flew off.
Well, you dropped the wheel first. Which
I
ripped the
did drop a wheel, and I hit the diffuser, and the diffuser popped up and broke the drop link on it, which then the diffuser just dragged on that side. And then these bumpers are basically parachutes.
Yeah.
So once that, like,
Hence
down
the
a little,
holes.
it just ripped off. So this whole side ripped off, and it was basically just hanging by the toe link, and even the toe hook. And even Adam was like, "We were just gonna let you go." They're like, "We black flagged you, but we thought you were just totally gonna ignore us and do the lap." But like, in the driver's seat, like, I didn't know what was wrong. Like, I just was like, "Oh, I'm getting black flagged, like something bad." Because the plastic, this is just like plastic, so I can't hear anything on track. It just
Yeah.
like doesn't make any noise. It's not like metal or scraping or anything like that. So I was just like, all right, I gotta come in. Redid some wire tie, and it was sweet. And they were like, go. And I was like, I got to the line to go back out, and they're like, oh, now we're checkered flag. I
Yeah.
was like, okay.
I just wanted to be in Group A with Chris. That way we can mess around.
No,
'cause
and
the-
I was so close, and I only did a 38.6, which is not like the fastest.
No, that's
Our
not-
public track day. I was faster.
Yeah, so
but-
basically, like a couple weeks ago on our track day, Chris was like a good second and a half faster,
Yeah, basically.
and also like it was way slower conditions. So like,
Yeah, it was rough conditions. Also, same thing with Mike. Once you have issues once in Gridlife, it's really hard to recover because you get
stuck
they
in
don't give a
traffic.
shit,
Yeah.
right? They're just like, you're in Group C right now, and then
Yeah.
you got to power through Group C, and no
it's
matter
it's
what,
like constant qualifying. You have to like keep
Yeah.
your spot.
Yeah, exactly, and just but that's part of the fun of it.
Yeah,
Also. So
definitely.
it kind of sucks, but right, I just struggled, and I got all the way up, and then the last session we went out, and then we were fiddle fucking around with obviously this silicone hose, right? This one caught on fire, and everything was nice and dandy. But the problem is this harness. Also, you have to remove the nice connectors to do the B58 coils. And this harness fell down, and the power to the water pump touched the manifold.
Of course.
And
What else?
It blew that fuse, and at the track, we didn't even notice this. That fuse just blew. So obviously, like, I'm out on session, and I'm just like toting around second lap, and I'm like, wow, coolant's 225. That's kind of warm, but like for a second lap, whatever. And then that was at like turn 10, and then like halfway down the straight, it was like 245, and I was like, well, that's really bad. And then like at the end of the straight, it was like 250 something.
Just
and
pulled
I was
off.
just like, I literally just pulled off, shut it off. So it was hot for like a second, but
Yeah.
the motor seems fine. It runs good right now. We go out and do some more testing.
N54 lives no matter what. Mine, I sneeze on it wrong.
Yeah, especially
Broken.
at temperature.
Broken.
Yeah. So we tried to replace the fuse, and it just shorted out immediately.
Well, we didn't know it was melted to the manifold.
No, and I've had that fuse blow before, but it's always been the water pump shorted. So we were just at the track. We're like, all right, it was the last session. It was
Pack
like,
it up.
Yeah, the water pump shorted. Pack it up. Got here, literally just pulled the wire off, and I was like, well, that doesn't look good. Electrical tape, put the fuse in. Water pump fires up fine
Boom.
with like the bleed procedure.
At least you don't have
So-
to buy another water pump.
Yeah, right.
Thanks,
'cause those
FCP.
suck. Yeah. But I have like 2 on the shelf as spares.
Yeah, that's good.
So yeah, I mean, other than that, the car was fine. It was a good time. It's
Yeah.
just I wish I had a Midwest Festival ticket as well, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm just happy that we kind of.
Both cars drove onto the trailer at the end, like we made it through with
Yeah.
like minor issues.
Blowing a gasket for me is just another day, another Tuesday, so I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
there's
too worried
nothing
about
new
it.
there, and it's like barely blown.
Yeah.
We borescoped the cylinder, and you could just see a little bit of bubble coming through the cut ring, and then once we put
Basically,
the case seal
yeah.
in it, we did the whole procedure again, and you couldn't see anything. So it should be fine now. And then mine, I'll go out and do some testing now, but she should be fine.
Although my cams were marred up for some reason, that was weird.
Yes, the cam issue is a different issue, but I don't really know what's happening.
Basically, the surface of my cams were just like all
Granular?
like
it was like, I mean, it was like
This is the cams are beating
Grooved
up.
up. Yeah,
Yeah,
the cams are
beating
just
up.
grooved
They're
up,
brand new too. So
And the solid lifters, right? You
Yeah.
like, and it was like a bunch of them. It wasn't like debris got in one and screwed it up. And we checked the oil and everything seems fine so far. So
yeah, so I'm gonna go down from 50 weight to 40 weight as well because my oil pressure was too high this weekend. It was
you
like
got
a,
like 110 psi oil pressure at watt, which is a decent amount.
yeah. Well, we're spinning this baby to 8,000, so you know.
So
Maybe that's it. Maybe the oil wasn't reaching where it needed to be, and I was running it harder, and we're just kind of getting into that now. I don't know. We're gonna figure it out.
it could be weird. I mean, everyone we've asked has been like, I've never seen that.
Yeah.
Now, or like you score like one cam low.
Yeah.
You're
So
like, that one is
yeah.
screwed.
So it could be like just a cam construction issue. We don't know yet, but
Yeah. I mean, we checked valve flash, and everything was fine. So it's nothing weird with the cam.
yeah, we're just gonna go.
Solid lifters or anything.
We're just gonna go send it next weekend and see what happens. There's no time to really do any more than we did, so
Yeah, and this is the new format. So basically, like Thursday's practice, Friday's qualifying, Saturday is just top 5 shootout.
Yeah.
So the car doesn't really have to run a lot. I mean, obviously, like, you know,
Yeah.
we're spoiled now. The car is fast. So right, we could go out and just hit
Yeah.
qualifying 1, just put a few laps on the car. We should be top 5. Then we can coast and kind of just play the Red Bull game, where it's like at the last second, do I have to go back out again, or
Yeah.
am I still P1?
exactly.
And then Saturday, it'll basically just be the shootout, and that's just go for glory.
Yeah, give her all
If the
she's
motor
got.
Makes it, the motor makes it. If not, we got a winch.
Yeah.
And like this block is like kind of screwed up because it was the one that got water in it. We cleaned it up.
With Scotch,
it was from-
right?
yeah, Bartek melted the head, so we replaced the head, but we never did anything to the block. So was the block perfect?
Probably not.
Who really knows?
Yeah.
Right? We'll never know.
So we'll
But-
recondition that block so it's a spare.
Yeah, because everything on the inside is fine, right?
Yeah.
So rods, pistons, cams, the
Everything
whole
looks-
shebang is
I
good.
have,
So it's like it's not like another $10,000 motor. It's like, oh, I get a new block,
Hone it.
and I hone it.
I'll keep this block. I'll just hone it and put some new rings in it and like
Yeah, and then you're just
Deck
you're
it.
done. Yeah, right. So
put it back together.
in terms of race motor repair, it's
okay.
It's not too bad.
Yeah, it's very different from what the usual is, which is catastrophic.
Yeah, right. Like if you lose a few cylinders or crack the head and melt
Yeah.
all the pistons or something dumb, right?
Yeah. So I guess let's go put the trophy on the wall. I guess.
Hell yeah! Let's show them the trophy. Where's the trophy?
I don't know.
Let
I
me
think
see
it might be-
this.
I don't really know.
It's probably in the back of the truck still.
No, I think I might have brought it upstairs. All right, that's good.
All right, let's see it.
Oh yeah, baby.
P2, baby.
So we can go with all our other ones.
Some good third places over there. We're getting a P1 this weekend. We
Hope
gotta
so.
do the whole shebang of Gridlife. Just do every place.
Maybe right there. We'll put it right there. Somewhere maybe there. These are old ones. Maybe I should move some of the old ones down. Put these boys up
Yeah,
there.
I would do that.
Yeah. All right, let's see what we got going here. We'll put those Mazda Manufacturers Cup Zoom Nationals off the wall.
Hell yeah.
All right. That was a good time, though. That was a good race. That fits a little low. Maybe we'll go this way. Maybe the Northeast Rotax Championship can go down. All right, let's see what we got here.
That seems better.
That seems better. Boom. Put zoom back on as well.
You can do it.
I'm not a handyman.
Yeah, where's Ryan Sparks right now? He doesn't even have a motor either. He should be working.
Yeah, he's got to pay off that motor.
He needs to do trophy installs.
All right.
Remember the one time Mike blew up or hit a wall at Speed Ring?
Good times for all.
Good times for all.
So we got a track battle second, track battle third, track
Yeah.
battle second. We haven't got the track battle W yet, but we're going for it. Midwest, we're coming for you.
Midwest. I mean, we have a really good opportunity to win. The McLaren's been winning everything, and he knows we're fast. We know we're fast, so
Yeah,
time to just put it all together.
definitely.
At worst case, we'll just turn it up a few PSIs.
Can't hurt. I mean, or it can, but like.
Well, it's going to,
Yeah.
but fuck it.
Yeah. We've run the motor out of coolant a couple times back in the day with no coolant needed. It rode Atlanta, completely blown motor. Doesn't matter. Send it.
Yep.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah, we appreciate it. And then if you're going to be at Midwest, stop by, say hi. We saw a bunch of you guys at RevUp. It was
And
awesome to see
we'll be
everyone.
fishing. So watch
Yes.
out. Go to the pond, bring a fishing rod, maybe have a little tournament. See you there.
As you can see earlier in the video, there is fish. So we'll have a little fishing tournament. And
bluegills for days. So
yeah,
let's go.
Basically, we don't know what to do now that race cars work. So we just turned to fishing, I guess.
I think it's the standard, normal events of things.
Of just life.
I get older, become fishermen. So.
All right, guys, please like, subscribe, do all that good YouTube stuff that they tell us to tell you to do so that we keep doing this shit. And until next time, see you later. Peace.
See ya.